Hello to my beautiful people out there. Happy Tuesday, September 30th. If you care for the time right now, it is 12:53 p.m. Obviously, that's not going to be the time when I post this. But what's up? It's my Not For The Week family, man. Excuse me. Every time I put out a video, like I take a couple weeks off, it always feels like I haven't seen you guys in hella long. You know what I mean? It's like a weird feeling. But anyways, today we're back with another one today. This is episode 43. And no guest, no music reviews. I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys today and bring it back, to the basics, bring it back to the fundamentals, bring it back to where I started. And that's kind of giving advice or game, or really just treating this like a therapy session, if you will. So I do have some points I want to bring up. I don't want to just kind of go on a random ramble. So we're going to go through over three things, or three topics, or three things that I wrote down or thought of that I felt like, we should just talk about or discuss today, One, and I'll put it somewhere over here so we see all 3 points. The first one is going to be mental health in the Black community. Now, obviously, that is universal as far as mental health issues and things of that nature. But me being obviously a man of color, a Black man to be more specific, I feel like I would rather just talk for my people than try to talk universally, And obviously everything I say isn't going to be 1,000% correct or whatever. This is all from what I'm gathering from my personal experiences and things of that nature. Number 2, we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about how untreated trauma causes friction in the relationship or relationships, whether that be like a romantic relationship with somebody, or relationship with a friend or family member. And the last and final thing we're going to go over and discuss is going to be, don't fall for the unsolicited advice. That's a pet peeve of mine, is unsolicited advice. Basically when somebody tries to tell you an opinion or give you advice that you're not even asking for or looking for, or nothing like that. It's like, bro, you're just coming and telling me some random shit just because. But yeah, so with that being said, I do have my headphones in right now. I'm playing a little jazz music in the background just to kind of get me in that vibe, get me, in that mood, I guess, to really dive into these things. It's not going to be an hour-long video, so don't worry. I'll keep it somewhat short, but sweet. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, though, everybody out there, if you haven't smoked, don't let this be the first time you do it right now. But for my fellow smokers and stoners and things of that nature, if you want to partake with me in a hit right now, we're going to do so. Don't worry, I'll give you 5 seconds to get your shit together. 5 seconds, bro, that's too quick. Hey, you knew what we get on and what we be on before you clicked on the video. But if it is your first time, then I'll give you some time. I'll give you 5 seconds, which technically I already gave you 5 seconds. You see how I did that? I was talking to give you 5 seconds to then give you 5 more seconds. So get your stuff ready, get your pen, get your joint rolled up, whatever you gotta do to get locked in with me, so I get locked in with you, so we all get locked in together. Let's do that. All right? So now you have 5 seconds, okay? I feel like I gave you more than that, like way over 5 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So get your shit ready, and let's do it in 5, 4, 3, 2. Am I high already? 1. All right, everybody. Cheers to my fellow smokers out there. Like I said, if you haven't smoked before, please do not let this be your first time doing it and then getting all paranoid and like, bro, you told me to do it. No, I did not. I said for the people that have been doing this, to partake. Now, if you haven't smoked and you want to, I'm not saying don't. Like, I'm not for it. Like, I ain't your damn daddy. I'm Manny. But, whatever. Cheers, everybody. All right. So, first order of business, mental health in the black community. So, how do I want to tackle this, man? The first thing I'm going to say is I think black people are least likely, for sure, out of any other race. Obviously, I haven't been any other races but black. But from my personal experiences and what I see on a day-to-day, I feel like we are less likely to seek help for stuff like that. Why? Pride, ego. We are taught as babies and youngsters to always just push through, get through it, tough it out, shake it off, that type of thing. And which is also really fucked up. And majority of black homes seeking for help, or like if you're say I want to go to therapy and I tell my family like, hey, I think I'm going to therapy, the first thing on their mind is like, what the fuck? Like, are you crazy? Like, literally, are you like going through some shit mentally? Like, are you bugging out? Are you tripping? Like, what the fuck? And that shit sucks, but that's what it is. We need to get out of that shit, bro. Like, for real. If and when I have kids, I don't have kids right now, but if and when I have kids, that is one thing I've always had in the back of my mind and always had, kind of planned out, I guess, as a teaching moment for my kid or kids. Is like, if you feel like you're going through something or whatever, don't feel ashamed or less of a person to talk to somebody about it. You yourself don't have all the fucking answers in the world, and you only looking at it from your point of view is only looking at it one-sided. So anybody looking at anything just one-sided is just looking at it one-sided and not from any other perspective. So it's like when you don't look at things from other perspectives and you only see things one way, it's kind of like borderline, I'm not gonna say borderline ignorant, but it's just like I don't know. So I just feel like in the black community, bro, we need to get better with that shit. Stop always being the parent to and that's another thing too. I feel like in black homes, or parents always have like that. What is that saying? Like, do as I say and not as I do, type shit. And that's kind of bunk too, because it's like, I don't know. It's just like hypocritical shit. You know what I mean? But really, just to tie him back all to the mental health shit, because I don't want to go too off track and just, just confuse you guys of the whole point of this. Talk to somebody if you're needing help, if you're feeling sad or whatever the case may be. Reach out to somebody, man, like for real. Even if it's this channel right here and you feel like, you need to, I'm going to make an email specifically for those that need help and those that need to reach out to somebody, talk to somebody. You can do it anonymous or you can say your name. But now that I'm thinking about it right now, I am going to set up an email soon to where we can have that. We can have like a not for the week support group type of thing, to where we just lock in and we just exchange information if needed. Don't be weird and shit and try to use it as like a dating site. It's none of that, But where we just get together, talk, check in with each other. Hey, how you doing? Blah blah blah. I got a new promotion. Oh, well, congrats. Even if we never see each other in person, I feel like that would be a really great idea. So now that I'm saying that out there and I'm putting it out in the world, that's something that's gonna happen. But yeah, man, I feel like we just need to get better with that in the Black community. Is being more open to letting people open up to us. You don't have to fake it and be super like sad and try to mirror their emotions and stuff. But just be a little bit more open to hearing people out. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I think we need to get better. And I say we because I'm not perfect either. So, Man, let's actually look up the definition, if we can, of mental health. Let's see if we can find a definition. All right. Definition of mental health according to Google. A person's condition with regard to their psychological and emotional well-being. It's a noun. They use it in a sentence as, all this pressure seems to be affecting his mental health. And that actually brings me to another point too about mental health, is the pressures in the Black community that affects the mental health too. Obviously, I'm not trying to distill what the sentence is, but that made me think about damn, a lot of Black kids and a lot of kids in general just have a lot of pressure on them that fucks with their mind down the road. A lot of kids are pressured into being like their dad or being better than their dad because their dad wasn't around. They have the pressures of that shit. They have the pressures of not being like their mom or being better than their mom because their mom wasn't nothing, or whatever the case may be. So it's like that pressure of that also, can and will fuck with a kid's mental health. You know what I mean? It's like you're already dealing with stuff on your own personally, like you're trying to, when you're coming up, or even maybe when you're a little older, you're trying to like build an identity or like find your identity, whatever. So the pressures of that as a kid, plus trying to not be like your dad that ain't shit or whatever, it's like it just has you conflicted. Like, damn, it just messes with your mental. You know what I mean? And I see that often with a lot of Black kids, man. It's just like their dad or mom was in sports but didn't make it, to the big leagues, obviously. So now they're putting all that pressure and, like, they're putting all their dreams and shit into their kids. And some parents damn near drive their kids crazy or like force them out because it's like, bro, you're putting all your insecurities, all your old problems and dreams onto the kid, and I feel like that fucks with a kid's mental, man. And I can't tell y'all what to do because I don't have no kids, so I can't be like, hey man, do this with your kid, do that, because I don't know, man. But stop doing that shit, man, if you can, like, for real. Like, and I feel like, and I'm saying if you can, obviously you can, you just choosing not to do this shit. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you had dreams of being the next LeBron, but some of you guys need to give that shit up, man. Like, stop putting that pressure on your kids. You weren't shit in high school. You didn't go to college for the sport. So stop trying to, like, be like, oh, well, I was this and I would have if I didn't get injured. Bro, we live in a whole different world. your kid is a whole different human being who's going to experience a whole different life and see the world completely different than you are how you did then. So stop with that shit. Like, bro, if your kid doesn't want to be the next LeBron or the next fucking Marshawn Lynch or Tom Brady, then so be it. Get over it. They might be the next doctor, the next lawyer, or the next engineer, or the top plumber, a journeyman, a welder, you know what I mean? Something like that. Everything doesn't have to be the glitz and glamour and shit. So stop putting that pressure on your kids, man. Specifically black folks. All the races, I can't speak for y'all. I do see some shit in y'all cultures and races too, but black folks, I see a lot of black parents put that pressure on their kids to be the next great whatever. And it's like, bro, stop that shit, please. Let's see ways to improve our mental health. Now, again, I can give you my personal things on how I think, but just for the sake of the video and me not wanting to give you guys misinformation, I am going to, look into it right now and see what we got on this here internet, rather than me give you guys fake news. And, I don't want to misguide you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I could say the cliche shit and be like, oh, well, to improve your mental health, talk to somebody, read a book, drink water, work out, But let's get into it. Okay, to improve your mental health, according to Google, this is Google again, to improve your mental health, prioritize physical well-being by exercising regularly, eating a balanced diet, and getting enough sleep. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Work out, eat right, get enough sleep. Cultivate a positive mindset through practices like mindfulness, gratitude, and self-compassion. Connect with others by building a strong support system and participating in your community. I like that. When you feel overwhelmed, write down your thoughts, take breaks, and consider seeking professional help from a counselor or therapist. I like that as well. I like the part where it says connect with others by building a strong support system and participating in community. Now, I haven't participated in my community yet as far as a toy drive, food drive, giveaway, anything like that. But it has been on my mind for a long time, so I know it'll happen eventually. But, excuse me. But yeah, that's something I like. Prioritize physical health. As they said, exercise regularly, eat a healthy diet, and get enough sleep. Physical activity releases mood-boosting chemicals, reduces stress, and can increase confidence. That's for the exercise regularly subcategory. As far as eating a healthy diet, I cannot talk, but I can read, y'all. Don't get it twisted, please. A well-balanced diet provides essential nutrients that support both physical and mental well-being, potentially improving mood and reducing anxiety. And that's just under the eat a healthy diet. So they're saying eating a healthy diet alone can improve mood and reduce anxiety. Interesting. Under get enough quality sleep subcategory, we got consistent, adequate sleep is crucial for mood regulation. A lack of it can make you more irritable and increase your risk of depression. All right. whoever knows that movie, is it a movie or like a show or no? I think it was like a social experiment, like in real life, where they had people not sleep or something. I don't know if it's a movie or real thing, but somebody comment that below. If it's a movie, let me know what movie it is. But I think it's an actual like social experiment where they had people like not sleep or something for a certain amount of time, and to see what it does to their brain and how they act, and things of that nature. So that's on my mind now. Somebody please comment, let me know if that's real life or if it's a movie or both. I'm pretty sure if it's real life, then they made that shit into a movie, because that's crazy to think about that. Let's go over this real quick, and then we'll skip on to the next thing. Cultivate a positive mindset. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself, and remember that your feelings are valid. That's solid. I like that. Practice gratitude. Acknowledge and appreciate the good things in your life. This can shift your perspective and boost positive neurotransmitters. Engage in mindfulness and meditation. These practices help you manage thoughts, reduce anxiety, and stay present. Okay? Learn to say no. Setting boundaries and declining commitments that don't serve you is an important part of self-care and stress management. Journal. Writing down your emotions and experiences can help you process and understand them better. Okay. So that was all under cultivate a positive mindset, those things. Anything else and everything else, you can literally just go to Google, search up mental health meeting, and then just go down the rabbit hole of that. To kind of conclude the mental health of Black community thing, I just want to say, man, it's more serious than people think and say. A lot of people say, don't be sad, don't be depressed, just get rich, you won't think about it, just That shit's serious, bro. A lot of people that put on that front and shit anyways are doing just that, are putting up a front. A lot of people that act like they have nothing going on are the ones with the most shit and the most problems going on. A lot of people with the smiles that make you laugh are really hiding a lot of pain. So check up on your people, man, if you can. I got this shirt for my wife. I haven't brought it up, but every time I'm like looking down or looking in the direction, I'm like, I kind of need to bring this up, because the shirt's like, the color of it, I like the color, but it's kind of bright in a way. Not bright, but it's like kind of stand out-ish, so I'm like, gotta bring it up. But yeah, talk to somebody if you can. If not, then I'm sorry. That's kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie. You can't just do one of the things that they say in here, to get your mind off of it. Exercise, eat right, read a book. I think the best thing to do, realistically, because you're not gonna work out every time you're thinking about something. You know what I mean? So I think the best thing to do probably is journal, and that's coming from me as an artist, as an interviewer that writes questions and thinks of things like that. Like, I think the best thing for me is to journal. So yeah. I wish you guys the best, though. We're not closing out this, but we are just closing out the topic on the mental health. So I just want to say I wish you guys the best on that. Black folks, let's be more supportive of each other, bro. Let's be more supportive, bro. And not when it's just a come up for you. Stop looking for support when it's just you selling $150 plates of macaroni and fucking one chicken tender plate. Which I'm not going to get into that right now, because that's a topic for another day. But, y'all know who y'all are. Anyways, let's go to the next thing. I feel like this is also big now, and just as I'm getting older and experiencing more things in my life and in my relationship with the world, with my wife, with my family, with my friends, more people that I'm meeting as I'm getting into the industry of music and entertainment. A lot of personalities, a lot of different energies in the world, a lot of different people with dark clouds over their heads, you know. And I feel like a lot of that is just untreated trauma that causes that. Now, I have my fair share of things that I went through in my life that I seen, heard, whatever, you know. Am I fully healed from everything? No. And I'd be lying if I said I did. So even me, I find myself sometimes doing something, and then when I look back, I'm like, damn, bro, like I really, like that, I acted this way or snapped from this because of this that happened a long ass time ago, and I never got over it, or I never healed from that, you know? So I feel like that causes friction in the relationships as well, because it's like you're always carrying baggage with you, per se. Even if it's not bad, like baggage as in like cheating or whatever, you're always carrying like those skeletons in your closet of just like somebody said this to you when you're 8. So now every time you hear that word or think about that moment or just blah, 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 you're lashing out on other people, taking it out on them. Excuse me. So that definitely causes friction. I've definitely been a suspect of that crime, for sure, when it comes to lashing out. And I don't lash out in a screaming way, but I just lash out as in my words are very sharp and hurtful, you know, to say at the least. It's certain things, bro, that trigger me sometimes from past shit. I guess to get a little bit into it, I don't have the best relationship with my mother. We don't talk on a day-to-day basis. And when we do get around each other, it's kind of weird. It's not like bad, like terrible. We don't hate each other. Obviously, I wouldn't ever hate my mom. But it's just, we have a very weird dynamic in our relationship, you know, to say at the very least. So with that being said, I feel like with that being said, 100% there's days where that awkwardness or that friction like blows over to my relationship with my wife, you know? Like certain things that my wife will do or say will trigger me because it reminds me of not necessarily my mom per se, but like, or I mean, yeah, obviously it reminds me of my mom, but like I don't know, I don't really know how to explain it. It's like a certain thing she'll say, my wife will say or do, yeah, and it will just remind me of my mom or make me think about my mom. And it's not necessarily that what my wife is doing is making me mad, but it's like what my mom did or didn't do in that situation is what's now triggering me with my wife. I hope that makes sense, but it's like that type of shit is not healthy, you know? Because it's like you're getting mad at this person for what this person did or didn't do for you. But the fact that they're now saying or doing what this person did or didn't do is not making you mad at them. Fuck, I hope that's not confusing. But that's the best way I could put it. Like, you know, I'm getting mad at my wife for something that's triggering me that happened back then. So it's just like we just need to get better with that. I need to get better with that shit. That's why I'm admitting it and saying it now, and I'm gonna post this, to the public because it's like I have my flaws too. I have my untreated trauma, and that shit definitely is unhealthy. You know what I mean? Like seeing, because I would hang out and grow up. Like I grew up with older people. Like when I was 12, 13, I liked to hang out with my older cousins and family that was like 17, 18 or older type thing. So just seeing that, I wouldn't even say it's trauma. I don't want to bring it up like it's trauma, but just like as a younger kid, seeing and experiencing men go through a lot of women kind of puts you in that mindset as you get older, as like, this is the norm, this is what I should do, this is what I'm on. And I feel like that's kind of like I said, it's not trauma, but it's like, I guess it's just more of a mindset thing. I wouldn't even say it's untreated trauma because it's not really traumatizing to see that. Because it's not like they're abusing and misusing. I guess not. They're not. But I'm saying like, I don't know. It's just like, I guess that just puts you in a different mindset growing up, which then kind of leads to you traumatizing other people. There we go. Like, I guess I wasn't really traumatized, if you will, because I didn't really see the bad in it at that time. But it's like, if you on the other side, like the other side of that coin, if you want to say it's untreated trauma, then I would say that also led me to like look at women a different way, treat women a different way. My wife is the first actual relationship I've really been in, like to be 100. Like it was like that type of vibe, like just doing whatever. So if you are to say it's untreated trauma, then I would say that stirred me. Yeah, that stirred me to look at relationships different. Hence, untreated trauma causes friction in relationships because the relationships I did have with women weren't ever real. It was just kind of like me playing a role, or me just kind of like playing a character, if you will, to just get what I needed at the time. You know what I mean? And I can admit that. And yeah, that might be untreated trauma. It might not be. It might just be a mindset thing. But obviously I'm not on that no more. But that's this type of shit, I guess, I had to deal with or do or overcome, I guess. So if that's you, then personally you're gonna have to go through your own journey as far as that, because that's really something that's like, I used to always tell myself I wasn't gonna get married. If I'm gonna have a girlfriend, then it's gonna be like, cool, whatever, but I never actually looked seriously or thought seriously about it. So a lot of that stems from that, growing up as well, seeing a lot of women, being around women, and just kind of the norm that my family's getting different girls, blah blah blah. I thought that shit was the norm. So, excuse me. So yeah. Sorry that I feel like I'm kind of spacing out. I'm just thinking about, now that I'm talking about this and I'm saying this shit out loud, I'm thinking about a lot of things in my life that I've seen and went through, and it's kind of like, man, maybe, I feel like a lot of my actions and my way of thinking is because how I grew up. It's like, damn, a lot of good and bad though. It shaped me to be who I am today. It's crazy. But the last and final thing we're going to go over today, guys, I said I wasn't going to be rambling, but just talking about this. And I don't know, I feel comfortable talking this way to you guys too. I feel like I kind of want to go more in this direction again. Not necessarily me just talking, but I want to give you guys like new words, new books to read. I want to just like, I want to be like that with y'all. I want to be more intimate, man. Not like in a weird way, but it's like, you guys got me over 200 subscribers. I asked for that. You guys accomplished that. You guys show love every video, so it's like, I feel like we're connected, man. So, yeah. Going off topic again. Anyways, like I said for the last topic, don't fall for unsolicited advice. Now, for those out there that do not know what unsolicited means, I'm going to give y'all the definition right now, so don't trip. And like I said, with this channel, I want to start giving you guys words and stuff that I discovered, things of that nature too, because I'm not one of those people that's scared to ask questions. If I don't know what something is, I'm asking, because I don't want to look like a dummy later. I don't want to, play like they say, a fool can't play wise, but a wise man can play like, I don't know. I must be a fool because I don't even know the quote. But anyways, unsolicited, according to Google, of course, means not asked for, given, or done voluntarily. They use it in a sentence as unsolicited junk mail. So all it means, again, not asked for, given, or done voluntarily. So unsolicited advice would then mean not asked for, like advice not asked for. That's all it means. So what I mean though by don't fall for the unsolicited advice is a lot of the times people see things as signs or a gift, like somebody might see a stranger or a friend of theirs come up to them and tell them some random shit, and in their mind, or aka your mind, you might be like, damn, is that a sign to do that thing, or to give up, or blah blah blah? And I'm telling you, don't fall for that. Don't fall for it. I don't like unsolicited advice. I really don't respect it if I can't respect you, your journey, or what you have going on yourself. Like, majority of people that give you unsolicited advice too are people that aren't doing what you're doing. They're not on the same path as you. They're not taking the same steps that needs to be done to be successful in whatever field or industry that you're in. So why are you even telling me this shit? Like, the reason why I say don't fall for it too is because a lot of people try to fill your head up with misinformation so they can get to where you're trying to get to, because they're secretly trying to either elevate or get to where you're at. So that's why I don't listen to unsolicited advice. Now, how can you tell the difference between unsolicited advice and real genuine advice? That I feel like you would know, as weird as that sounds, and like I feel like you would know, like your gut feeling would really let you know, like if somebody's really genuine about what they're saying, or they're just saying some shit just to say it. It is hard sometimes. A lot of people are good actors and good actresses, but I feel like for that, you'll most likely know. Like if you're hella excited about something and you're pumped up, and then somebody just randomly like, well, I think, blah. Just randomly off some random shit with bad vibes behind it. That's unsolicited advice you can't get with, bro. A lot of advice you can't listen to anyways, because a lot of people are giving you advice that they're not even walking that life. A lot of people aren't practicing what they're preaching. So that's another reason why you shouldn't fall for unsolicited advice. If you don't respect what they're doing in their job field, in their industry, if you can't be inspired by them, bro, or like at least take a thing or two from them, besides the bullshit statement or besides the advice that they just gave you, don't even fuck with it, bro. Like, truthfully. Or girl, you know. Don't fall for it. Don't even fuck with it. Don't run with the narrative. A lot of people will try to give you advice, but it's really like some underlying hating shit or some borderline disrespectful shit that they're trying to, you know, they're trying to mask under advice. So a lot of people try to stir you wrong just to get where you're at. So no, my advice, if you ever take any advice from me in the world, like ever, my advice is to stop taking so much damn advice from everybody. And that's some real shit. That's my only advice. It's to stop taking so much damn advice from those you don't respect, those you don't love, those you don't care for, those you can't look at them and be like, you know what? I see what you're saying, because you're on that path, or you succeeded the expectations that you set for yourself, or you're on the up. So you know what? I respect that. If it ain't nothing like that, it's just some fucking random, not random, some random or family member you haven't seen in fucking 8 years, but now they're trying to give you advice on how to do this and how to do that. And bro, I can give you the connection to I can give you the connection to Chris Brown, and I can, like, bro, don't listen to none of that bullshit. Carve your own way. The people that love you and care for you will always be around. Stick with them. It's cool to build and network, but instead of trying to always build new relationships, start with the one you got and build from there. Build a strong foundation. Get a team. That's what I'm currently looking for. That's what I'm currently trying to do, is just have a strong team of people that believe in me in this shit. And, we just hit the ground running. And you could do the same. So that's my 3 things for today, you guys. I miss y'all. Mental health in the black community. Untreated trauma causes friction in relationships, and don't fall for unsolicited advice. Please do not fall for unsolicited advice, y'all. You know what I mean? Let's improve our mental health so we can just get better. I feel like a lot of people right now mentally are all over the place. So let's calm it down. Winter's approaching, so we can get a little bit more chill, more cool. Or fall's approaching, rather, my bad. So it'll get more cool, more relaxed. And everybody should be more inside and, get their minds right, get their money right, get their goals and plans in order. But with all that being said, and my good peoples out there, this has been Paid Leave. You made it this far, I love you. This is episode 43. Now for the week, like, subscribe, share this with somebody that you think will find this video useful. No music this time, no interviews, just straight up conversation, therapy session, if you will. Be blessed, stay safe, and you can do it. You got this. Anything and everything you set on your list to do is positive, of course. God's gonna make sure you see through it. You know, He's gonna make that way for you. So. One love, baby. 43. Yes, sir.